Hey, welcome to Declare's Delight for Life. Hi, I'm Andrea, the Sensible Lady. I am the CEO and co-founder of Declare's Delight for Life. I put the sensible and sensible and help you declutter the clutter in your life. As a lot of you know, I have a special coming up for you. We're going to be talking starting on Monday about the 12 principles of life, and it's going to be very special. It's going to be a 12-part series, and it's going to be available to you guys. And I'm just giving you a preview of it, and it's we're going to have something special for you. As far part of this is called Declutter into the New You, and just be on the look for it, and we'll have it available, and it's going to be great, and it will definitely change your life if you go for it, because you know what, you never know. You got to declutter into the new you, and we all have to declutter into our new selves, because if we don't, life never changes. And tonight we're talking about how to move forward in life. And also, for those who like decluttering tips, if you send us your email at ddflrocks@gmail.com, which is just the general one, or Andrea at 84thstreetrocks.com. We can also get it there. Or you can messenger me on Facebook, and we'll definitely get it there. And what I just want you guys to realize is that, we got a lot of great stuff coming at you, and we just want you guys to be aware, because life is too short. Because for a lot of us, when we deal with trying to move forward in life, a lot of us, and including myself, we struggle. And we struggle with living in the past, or we have a lot of past hurts. We have a lot of past, things that we've dealt with. Some of us with lots of challenges, or we feel stuck. And how do we move past that? One of the things I have found for myself in my own struggles is that in order to move past my own past, I have had to realize about letting go. Letting go, for a lot of people is something they have to determine for themselves. But one of the things I have found for myself is acceptance. Acceptance, of what is, because sometimes acceptance can be a very difficult situation. Or sometimes you've been hurt so badly, if you've been attacked, if you've been hurt as a child. Believe me, having been through a lot myself as a kid and as an adult, believe me, sometimes you want to feel sorry for yourself, and definitely live in the past. And we don't want to. Do you really want to live in the past? Do you really want to stay there? It's for a lot of us, I know for myself, living in the past has never got me anywhere. If anything, it's only got me stuck, and I was in poverty for a while. And, I look at those folks alongside the roadway who are homeless, and I look at them and I say, how stuck are they in the past? And, how stuck are you in a job because of the past? And how bright of a future do you want to see for yourself? I guess for myself, in order to move past the past, that, we need to let go and have acceptance. And, one thing I do realize is that we have to learn to live in the moment, from moving from the past into that. Because one thing about living in the moment is that we realize that when we look around us, whether we look at children playing in the park, or myself, when I look, what I was just here playing with my puppy dog, my beagle, and we were just playing and throwing things around in the house. It was just a lot of joy and just living in the moment. And it just was really a lot. And I really, really enjoyed it. And for me, it was great playing with her and accepting the fact of, playing with her, and realize, I wish she lived a long time. But, it's not always an easy factor. And one thing I do want you guys to realize is that no matter where you're coming from, that living in the moment is definitely, when you moving forward in life. I like I said, living in the past to me is like going backwards. It's like we are on a slippery slope of if any of you guys have been in mud, living in the past is like being in slippery mud. It's very hard to get traction. But when you live in the moment, you do get traction in life and you do see change happen. And to me, some of that change I have seen blossom for myself. It's going to be almost 11 years. Actually, next month, at the first part of the month, it'll be 11 years since I started my own decluttering of my weight issue from 494 pounds down to where you see me now at a healthy body weight. And I rather enjoy that. Believe me, life is a lot easier, and it's not always an easy proposition living in the moment, but there's can be a lot of joy living in the moment. And when you live in the moment, you can move forward. You can develop goals. You can develop dreams. You can develop aspirations for yourself that you may never have been able to see before. And that's, one of the things I would like you guys to see. And I know for myself that, like I like to also bring forward again, is that on Monday we're going to be having the 12 principles of life start, and it's going to be a 12-part series about life itself, and it's going to be a complete series on all the different aspects of life. And I just want to repeat that to you guys because I'm definitely going to be living in the moment giving that to you guys, because about the 12 principles of life are about decluttering into the new you. Because if you can declutter into the new you, you can change and live in the moment. And that's such a beautiful thing. And for all of us, when we can do that, we can, move into the future and declutter to have goals and dreams and aspirations. How many times have you dreamed of a new home? How many times have you dreamed of a better job, or even developing a business, or having a better choice of what you want to do in life? Or how many of you sometimes are on the lower economic scale and you wonder, how can you escape it? A lot of it, as far as escaping wherever you are at, determines whether or not is your mindset. And that's one of the biggest things on whether things happen in one's life is one's mindset. And that's huge. And realizing one's mindset is one of the biggest factors about being able to move into the future. you know your mindset, it allows you to develop ideas, allows you to deal with depression, allows you to deal with anxieties of life. Because a lot of times anxiety, when you deal with life itself, is, when it starts, anxiety about the future, when you're not living in the moment, is like at the beginning of exercise and your body gets all geared up, and it doesn't go anywhere, and all the adrenaline, and it just builds up, and you kind of almost get paralyzed with not being able to do anything. And believe me, having been there myself a lot and dealing with an anxiety disorder as a result of a lot of trauma, that I've had to learn ways to learn to deal with anxiety itself. And and sometimes it's been rough on relationships, having to deal with mental health and my background, and learning acceptance of that living in the moment, like I've talked about. Because for myself, being at the age of 54 and being able to want to move into the future and have a better life, a better home, be able to do whatever I want is what goes on between my two ears and in my spirit and in my mind and my body, because everything is affected by that. And my health is extremely important to me, and how I take care of myself in all the different aspects of who I am. And I know for you guys, being able to march into the future and being able to move forward in your life is huge. And when you're able to do that, you're able to declutter into the new you. And like I said, on Monday, we start a 12 principles of life. And we're going to go through those principles in 12 easy steps. And if you wish to receive decluttering tips, just email us at ddflrocks@gmail.com, or you can messenger me on Messenger. But, to conclude with this, I'd like to give you some, some simple steps that you can use to be able to go into, and deal with things. Step one, think about, what kind of goals and dreams and aspirations you want to have. Write 3 of those down. And then next to each of those, write one thing, that action you like to see happen. And then 3, take that top one that you have, and then, write 3 more steps for it, and then write a date you'd like to see that happen by. And then if you could do that, that does wonders for your self-esteem. And when those self-esteem is strong, you can definitely move forward into a new you, and you can definitely declutter into a new you. And with that, I wish you a great Declutter's Delight for Life. Have hope and love and peace, and let there be light in your eyes. And I wish you all a great night.